Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kellie.
Are you mad that I cut you off?
No, I was going to make a SpongeBob joke.
What was the joke? So I said, you know what they say, Kellie, and then she started to talk, and before she could finish, as you may have heard very slightly, I started the opening.
Yeah. Here's what I was going to say. You know what they say? People order our patties. Poop. That's what they say.
Jumping straight into the news so we can disregard Kellie's poop. Disney and Marvel Games have announced a showcase for September 9th. That is the date of D23, the Disney Expo. That's like a Comic-Con for just Disney. They've had things like this in the past. I know because Kingdom Hearts has been there, but it's never been anything that crazy. And this seems to be getting pretty hyped up. They've definitely never made this big of a deal. My instant excited hope is that this is going to be a lot of Marvel and Disney stuff, and therefore the other shows, like the PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo shows, can be a little more Disney-free. Because we've been seeing so much Marvel in all those shows lately, it'd be really nice if they just took that out of all the other shows and put them in here.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The pessimist in me says that Disney would not waste an opportunity to shill.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see Midnight Suns and stuff like that for however long it is until it gets released, whenever that may be. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be nice if we didn't have to see any more Marvel content, because I don't really care. I just don't care. Nor do I care about the Disney content. I'm sorry. I was snoozing. When I saw this news, I hit the snooze button.
I heard it. I heard her snore. I can vouch.
Thank you.
That she was that bored.
Thank you.
I feel like the only things that I care about are Spider-Man, which is PlayStation, so I doubt it would be here. And, maybe that Wolverine game, but I feel like that's so far away that I'm not even thinking about it. And then Kingdom Hearts, which might make an appearance, but it seems a little too early for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to see Kingdom Hearts just because of that Marvel specification, unless they are like, oh, there's an Avengers world or something silly like that. But
well, I think that is very, very possible. But I just don't know if this is the year for it.
Yeah, that's true. We did see that little Kingdom Hearts snippet, though, earlier this year. And it was pretty long, but yeah, who knows? I mean, anything could happen at something like this. Like, for instance, a new Lord of the Rings game. Not Smeagol. What's it called? Gollum. Smeagol's the other guy. Not Gollum. Okay? I'm not talking about Gollum. I'm not talking about Shadow of Mordor. I'm talking about a brand new Lord of the Rings video game. It seems like it'll be more based on the books, or the book. And it is going to be developed by Private Division and Weta Workshop, set in the literary Middle-earth universe of J.R. Tolkien. This was announced in a tweet, which was kind of random. Not a whole lot here, just because it's still so fresh. But Weta Workshop, I'm not sure that how to pronounce it, but
I looked them up.
Well, they worked on the Lord of the Rings movies.
They make practical effects and like costumes and like statues now. Why are they making a game?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I think maybe it's just sort of, I think that the universe of Lord of the Rings is they're trying to like expand it and turn it into something really, really big, especially with like this new Amazon show. I'm not really sure. I don't think it will be,
Good.
well, who even knows at this point? Because it's like there's literally nothing. There's almost nothing to learn from this other than it's based on the books rather than the movies. So
I just feel like I don't know a lot about Lord of the Rings. Not going to claim I do, but it just seems like the rights right now are an absolute, like, they're just nonsense.
it
Right?
seems like maybe that somebody who had the rights died or passed away or gave them to somebody else, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, wait a minute, we can do something with Lord of the Rings here, because it seems like it was very quiet. Other than like obviously the Peter Jackson trilogy is why most people know Lord of the Rings, and then The Hobbit, which people don't look at as fondly as the original trilogy. But the last Hobbit movie was in like 2015, I think, or something like that. So it just sort of seems like you're right. Something weird has happened with the rights, and maybe now it's like the floodgates have been opened, and they're trying to like really milk the cow for as much as they can.
Yeah.
To what end, I don't know.
Seeing how bad Gollum looks makes me think there's very little oversight happening here. So I'm not optimistic. Also, Private Division, not to like lessen them, but they're very small. And Weedaworks or whatever, what, they don't do video games.
Maybe it'll be a mobile game. Who knows?
That seems really likely. I hadn't thought about that. But this just seems like such like a weird way to announce it.
Yeah.
You think you would just drop that crap when it's done.
Right. Or like a week before, be like, surprise, look what we're doing.
Yeah. Speaking of surprises, our buddy, our pal, our friend, our amigo, our compadre, Sonic, he tweeted. He overtook the Sonic Hedgehog Twitter, and he tweeted, he said, "Hey, yes, this is real Sonic Frontiers art. More soon." It's a dumb tweet. It's a dumb tweet. But it's basically just like key art for the new Sonic game. We know we're going to be seeing more at Gamescom in a couple weeks here. There's really not a lot here, but the art is very pretty. So I have renewed optimism, which is funny because I think my optimism for this game has been renewed and killed and renewed in a cycle, like maybe 6 or 7 times so far. So we're back on the renewal cycle. Okay, everybody, we're back on the horse, and we'll see if this blue horse hog hedge horse
hog.
We'll see if Sonic kicks me off the horse next week.
I don't think he will.
Do you think I'm going to remain on the optimism horse?
I do, because I feel like if they're hyping it up, they're excited to show it off. Unlike before, when they were like, here's some footage.
Here's some weird looking footage.
And it's like, what are we even looking at here? I think you will be excited and surprised.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see what Gamescom is like, and this is adding to that, because I don't know. What's Jeff going to freaking do at Gamescom? I won't be watching it live, I promise you that much.
You know what Jeff might be doing is tumbling over. Or perhaps falling as a guy.
Fall Jeff.
Sorry. So keeping on track with the Sonic news. Keeping on track. Get it? like running. Keeping on track with the Sonic news, a new level and some new costumes for Fall Guys were announced. And they are all Sonic themed. So it is the Bean Hill Zone, which I thought was really cute. I really liked that. It's going to be a new obstacle course, obviously themed around Sonic the Hedgehog. There are Knuckles, Tails, Super Sonic. Is that what he's called? The Golden Sonic? Or
yeah.
Does he have a different name? Super Sonic. Eggman. Or Dr. Robotnik, for those of you who are feeling
wrong.
crazy. For those of you who are wrong. And Sonic, obviously. New costumes for your little beans. So This was kind of fun. I do love Fall Guys. I'm a big fan. I don't think I'll be buying any costumes just because I have already spent real tangible money on this game, and I don't want to do that ever again. But this will be fun. So this is from... oh, wow. Wait,
It's
it already
over.
happened.
No, it's over.
It's over. It already happened.
But Bean Hill Zone is still in the game.
Sorry, y'all.
The costumes will come back. That's how that works. The initial cycle was missed. So if you're listening to this and you just like, we said that, and you're like, gotta get on Fall Guys. Well, sorry. You're out of luck.
Sorry, you can blame me. I sort of led into it in that way. It just seems like a really short amount of time to
It is.
get those costumes. But I guess if they come back in high demand, then that's is what it is. But
Yeah. It's no Goku in Fortnite. I didn't put that in the sheet. Like, it's not like this is a transition. I just realized that Goku's coming to Fortnite.
I know.
We'll talk more about it next week when we actually have seen it, because they haven't announced it yet.
Well, they're supposed to announce it today.
Well, it leaked.
They tweeted about it.
Yeah, no. The trailer leaked.
Oh, I see.
And it looks like I watched a bit of it, but it was at about like a frame per second. Here, I'll show you. This is not the compression. That's just the frame rate.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, I'm a good person. I don't look at leaks. I've never seen anything that I wasn't supposed to see.
I just showed you a leak.
I'm a bad person now.
Anyway, we'll probably talk about that next week, because it looks a lot more extent. We don't talk about Fortnite. We pretty deliberately avoid like Fortnite skins, unless it's like Nathan Drake or something.
Or Lady Gaga. Or Ariana Grande.
I don't think we talked about Ariana Grande, actually.
We definitely did.
Was that during this show?
Yeah, it was like one of the first episodes.
Wow. Anyway, we'll probably talk about it later. It looks like it's really extensive, like not just a skin. So that might actually be worth talking about. Something that we teased you about last week, but didn't have the full information, was the Splatoon 3 Direct. We got it the day after that podcast aired, and it revealed a ton of new gameplay specifics, including our new pop star trio, including Big Man. He's a big manta ray that stands behind the two stars, and his name's Big Man. And they also showed off 3-team turf wars. This game has traditionally been 2 teams fighting each other, but during the Splatfests that they have all the time, you'll be able to play 3-team Splatfests, or turf wars, excuse me. They also announced that there's going to be a limited time pre-release demo available on the 27th. So that'll be a Splatfest that you can partake in. I hope that I'll be able to join. Sadly, I will be out of town most of the 27th, so there's a very good chance I won't be able to do it. I think this was just about exactly what we had to see of the game. It didn't show off a lot of single player, which is not concerning so much as like, I just wanted to see it. But it showed off a bunch of new Salmon Run stuff, which is my favorite mode. Showed off a lot of the multiplayer mechanics, lots of guns and different new power-ups. I think it looks really, really good. I think if you liked Splatoon 2 and you kind of had your fill, there's not an absolute ton about this game that I think will bring you back. But for me, I've been really wanting some new Splatoon gameplay, and I'm going to use this as a good excuse to come back on in. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see closer to. I think the amiibos they announced look really nice, specifically the yellow-haired Inkling girl. I think her pose is real edgy and cool, and I want her on my mantle. Those aren't coming till this holiday, though. Yeah?
Big Man is kind of dreamy.
Oh. Okay, so Kelly really likes Big Man.
I do, yeah. He's so cute.
He's got like a little fictional mustache.
I know. And he's a big man. He's a big manta ray.
Do you like Fry, Shiver, or Big Man the most?
Big Man, come on.
Okay, take Big Man out of the running. Do you like Fry or Shiver better? Fry's
Shiver
yellow.
The blue. Oh. Yeah, I like I kind of like them both. I don't know. It's hard to choose. I think they're both really well designed. They're very cute.
Yeah.
I like their little like luminescent like shawls. They're both wearing these little shawls that kind of like light up.
Yeah. I'm excited
I
for
like
this game.
Shivers. No, I like Fry's pants too.
Yeah. I really like that Big Man is just holding his mask all the way at the end of his long arm.
Yeah. He's special to me.
But that's Splatoon 3. It'll be out in a few weeks, September 9th. So if you're excited, stay excited. If you're not, I'm afraid not much will probably change your mind about this direct. But hey, maybe check it out anyway. See if Big Man brings you in.
Hey, are you excited for tomorrow?
Why would I be
17th
excited
of
for
August?
tomorrow?
The 17th of August?
It's just a Wednesday, right?
I'm trying to tell you that the most exciting game of the year, Kirby's Dream Buffet, is releasing tomorrow on the 17th of August. I love all the little Kirby's and I love all the little food. I'm excited.
Are you going to be playing it tomorrow?
Yeah, I decided I want to play it because it's really cute.
I'm excited to play it. I think it looks crazy. Definitely doesn't look like the most deep thing in the world, but hey, for $15, a fun little experience like this, I think I'm down. It also has a co-op mode they announced, so I can play it happily with my partner instead of competitively and angrily with my partner.
Yeah, and Kirby turns into a little cupcake, so.
Kirby Mr. Cupcake Boy.
Whoa, it's so cute and jelly. Okay, sorry. I'm watching the trailer as we speak.
Me too. I'm watching them fight each other violently.
Oh my gosh. True.
I mean, I kind of figured it had to be like mid to late August, but there's something about surprise releases that just feel good.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about this. I like the waffles, the cupcakes. I love Kirby, first of all.
You better.
And I love cute little foods and such. So this is really a slam dunk for me.
I'm really thrilled to play it.
Whoa. Oh.
Sorry, I have not gotten a secret copy.
Telling us, are you disclosing information right now, or?
No, I just want to play it. Sorry, what? Are you laughing about
Kirby? He's too big. He broke the scale.
I thought you were laughing about the next story, which was very inappropriate.
Oh, no. I'm not laughing at that.
Hiroyuki Kobayashi. You a big fan, Kelly?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of well, actually, I do like Resident Evil, so,
I mean, yeah, we're all
and Dragon's Dogma. So I guess
we're
I
all
kind
big
of am a fan.
but none of us knew his name.
Right.
I think I've definitely heard that name floated around because he has been a producer at Capcom for 27 years. So he's worked on Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma, and Mega Man. He's been across the board. Very important to Capcom, very important to their games. He is leaving Capcom. He is already now working for NetEase. You may remember NetEase because they're kind of like an alternate version of Tencent, a Chinese conglomerate. They sniped Toshinori Nagoshi earlier this year from Sega. This is, I'd say, probably their biggest acquisition. I knew Nagoshi better because I know of Yakuza very well, but I think Kobayashi has a lot more like storied history. I don't like this. It feels kind of bad.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he left on the 31st of March.
And we just found out.
And we just found out about it now. But
the thing for me is that, okay, I'm going to be optimistic because I don't do that enough. Here's my optimism. I'm optimistic, okay? Are you ready?
Okay, yep.
Okay, so NetEase acquires people. They snipe people, they take them from other companies and have them join NetEase. Whereas Tencent just eats up companies. They just buy whole companies. My hope is that NetEase would seek to create new things, new exciting creative IPs, and maybe make an actual impact on video games and the video game space using these very storied producers and developers. That's my hope, because it seems weird not for them not to just be gobbling up companies. This seems strange, and like they have hopefully a plan that is something that the consumer can be excited about. Okay,
Yeah.
optimism over.
Time to be pessimistic again. I think you put it well. It might be a sign of things changing, or, might just be a really fat paycheck. But that's me being pessimistic.
It's definitely a fat paycheck. It's hopefully also something positive.
Right. Something on top of the fat stacks, big cheddar that our friend Kobayashi will now be making at NetEase. Speaking of pessimistic and bad things, Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed to February 10th. This was a game that was originally supposed to come out in November?
I think it just said 2022. No, they said holiday. Yeah, so probably November.
It has now been delayed to February, which is an interesting delay. That's, how many months would have that really been? If they really were doing holiday 2022, probably like 4 months or 3 months, which doesn't really seem like a whole lot of time. But who knows? Maybe they weren't going to do 2022 anyway. And the cherry on top of this news is that the Switch version has not been announced at all. They said, we will announce when the Switch version of the game is coming out. Blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, it's kind of, who cares? But at the same time, okay, here's the deal. One, I think you and I are in a similar Harry Potter boat, where I don't particularly want to participate in the brand anymore.
Yes.
So I kind of don't care about the game or how it looks or what it's like, because I just don't have an interest in the brand because of the creator. I think the thing for me is that this year was like so stacked beyond comprehension. And now it's not. 2023 is stacked beyond comprehension, and 2022 just like sacrificed all of its games for the sake of 2023. And 2022 is still great. Like, there's a lot of smaller experiences that are giving me a lot of joy, and that's a good thing. But wow, 2023 is really just taken everything out of 2022.
Yeah. Since you have been so optimistic today, I'm going to continue to be pessimistic. I think this game is not going to be good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't
have
faith.
A bad feeling now. All these delays, and now, on top of, well, first of all, there's a lot of bad press around the game that, maybe not everybody. Obviously, the laymen, like the masses, they probably aren't thinking about that. But I think in like an online verse, there is a lot of bad press around the game just because of the doubling down transphobia of the creator. I also think that it's been delayed so many times. It was originally supposed to come out in 2021, which is, going to be 2 years from its actual release date if it comes out in February as it's supposed to. And I don't know just what we saw from the gameplay. It doesn't look like anything that it's worth waiting like 7 or 8 years over. But, I just have a really bad feeling that it's not going to be good. Just something inside my soul that's telling me that. But
the thing inside my soul that told me that was my eyes when I watched the trailer. I thought it was ugly.
Yeah. I think it's also hard now because we're at a point where certain consoles perform just so much better than others, like the PS5 and the Series X. It's gotten to the point where it's like you really have to make 2 different versions of the game just because you have to make it so that it can run on Switches and PS4s and Xbox Ones.
It's like... Go ahead.
But you still have to make it optimized for players who have PCs or Xbox Series X or PS5s. It's like You can't. It's like this whole thing with Cyberpunk. It's like that game came out like just on the cusp of new consoles, and it's like it really suffered for it, I think, because they were. I mean, it suffered for a lot of reasons. Let's be honest. There was a lot going on, but I think a big part of it too was just they had to make it work, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't working on old consoles, and it's like I feel like a game like this is probably experiencing some similar hiccups in that process.
It's how do you make a game for PlayStation 5 and Switch?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially a game of this scope. It's like I can get the PS4 and PS5 thing because PS4 and PS5 are not leaps and bounds apart from each other, but I don't have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear? I'm just going to run through the delays of big 2022 games into 2023.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Suicide Squad, Starfield, Stalker 2, Replaced, Redfall, Pragmata, Breath of the Wild sequel, Hogwarts Legacy now, Forspoken, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
What hurts the most on that list for you?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I think that's the only game on this list that I'm like truly dying to play.
That's rough.
I would say I'm curious about Avatar. I'm excited for Forspoken. I'm excited for Pragmata. I'm excited for Replaced. And I'm excited for Suicide Squad. Off that list, at least.
What about Starfield?
I don't have the proper console to play it, so it's kind of hard to be excited.
Yeah.
I could stream it to my Xbox because I don't have a Series X yet, but I might get a Series X. We'll see what time it comes out. We'll see when it comes out. If it comes out at a time that makes sense for my paychecks and such, I may hop on the Series X train. I've been kind of wanting to lately because I've liked my Xbox, and I think it's time that he gets an upgrade.
Wow.
But I've actually been using my Xbox a lot this week for a game.
What game?
I'm not going to tell you, but because of the wonderful things that Sentry does for our podcast. We have a very exciting word from our co-sponsor. This week, we are again sponsored by Sentry, a new esports organization from Pittsburgh. Their team runs tournaments for Smash and other video games. Find them on Twitch at twitch.tv/PGH Sentry. That is twitch.tv/PGH SENTRY. Or go to their website, smacksentry.gg. smaksentry.gg to find more info about attending or viewing their content.
Wow!
What was the song I was singing? Because of the wonderful things he does? What's that from?
I truly have no idea.
We're off to see the wizard.
Oh, God.
Why don't they make a song? Why don't they make a video game about the Wizard of Oz?
You know, they just announced today that there's going to be a remake of the movie.
Today? They just announced what? What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you remake that?
You find a girl and you cast her as Dorothy, and then you find 3 grown men and cast them as the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. And then you get a guy and you paint him in green, and then you put him behind a big curtain, and then oops, sorry, spoilers.
Did you mean to say lion, witch, and wardrobe?
Yeah, it was a joke.
It was very funny. It was very funny, but you didn't dwell on it. And I'm like, you should be proud, but.
Thank you. Sometimes you just got to let it sit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you want to know what I played on my Xbox?
No. Just kidding.
All right, everybody.
I do, actually. I really do, actually. I do.
I finished The Quarry. Me and my partner, we buckled down this weekend, and we finished the back half of The Quarry. That first chunk of the game, I'd say the first 80% of the game, we really enjoyed. I killed one character, oopsies, but it was still going well and I was having a fun time. The last 2 chapters we did not like because we lost quite a few characters due to like little things. A couple of them due to things we like really couldn't have foreseen. And then like one of them, it brought me up to like a shooting mechanic. and I just didn't fire fast enough. It was like maybe 1 full second to hit fire before the target moved out of my sight. And I was like, that wasn't fair. Like, because they hinted, they were like, oh, you got to be careful who you fire at. So my brain, as soon as it entered a fire mode, I was like, oh, got to make sure I'm aiming the right one. And before I could even finish thinking that sentence, my character was dead. And then another character died because of a decision I didn't know I made very long ago. And apparently those 2 characters were really central to a plot happening in the final chapter. So I just didn't see that plot.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about because I think I did the same exact thing.
We'll discuss off air for spoiler's sake. And then my partner killed a character accidentally, like right in the last second for the same reason. And I was like, oh, you fired and you hit like the enemy. You're fine. And apparently it didn't land. And it looked like it. So we were just a little frustrated because like losing characters in silly ways that like we felt like should have been avoidable. And then, so nobody told me this game doesn't have an ending. This game doesn't really like have like an ending. It just sort of like the game quote unquote ends, and then it has like splash screens to tell you who survived and who died and like what happened to everybody. And I was kind of like, oh.
Yeah. It doesn't Sorry, go ahead.
I just was kind of hoping for like 3 or 4 endings depending how good or bad you did. Like this is like the terrible ending where most of your characters died. This is like a medium ending where like you saved half your characters or whatever, and then this is the good ending where you saved everybody.
Like
but
Persona
they're like
4?
I guess like Persona 4 or like Mass Effect. Well, I guess Mass Effect 2 doesn't have different endings depending on that.
I was going to say.
But it's like I get the appeal of like quote unquote 186 endings. But there's not 186 endings. There's a number of factors that can combine into 186 endings, but there's not 186 endings, That feels disingenuous.
Yeah, I definitely think that it lacks the conclusive ending that its predecessor Until Dawn has. I do think it's a game that has a bit more variation in terms of what's going on during the game versus Until Dawn, where it's not necessarily linear because your decisions do matter, but it's a bit more linear than this game where things are just different. I feel like you don't necessarily see the effects of your choices in the ending so much as you see them more during the game. But I agree with you that I think some of the end game decisions are just a little bit they're not choreographed very well, so that I like I said, I think I did the exact same thing that you did, and we can talk about it off camera, or off mic. But yeah, I completely see your point. The ending it feels very abrupt, especially if you made some of the choices that you made.
Yeah.
In terms of characters that are still alive.
Right, because then there's just certain plot threads that didn't even open. Not that they didn't reach their conclusion. They just did not open.
Right.
So I didn't even know a certain character existed until Google.com told me. And to be honest, I just don't have like the will to replay those chapters to see it because 1, it's a library rental, and 2, it's like it was just 'cause it was frustrating enough that I was like, nope, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sad, but like I still recommend it, especially I think this is a game to play with another person. I think that was a very fun experience. But I don't know, as a single player game, I'm not sure I would highly recommend it. I think it's a fun novelty more than like an incredible game.
Yeah.
And the writing also seemed to get a little worse as it went. Or maybe I just got annoyed with the characters.
Yeah.
There was one character pairing at the end that I really didn't like, and they were like pretty central, and I was like, I was okay with you two until you got to like you were standing together, and now I don't like you.
Yeah.
And then I killed them both, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah. True.
So, what'd you play, Kelly?
Well, Kelly played some more Dead by Daylight because something is wrong with the wiring in her brain and she can't stop playing it. I did really want to play Hooked on You. I did not. So I am going to get it, though, and I'm going to play it a little bit this week, and then I'll have some thoughts next week because I love A, dating sims, and B, Dead by Daylight. So, I mean, come on, you guys. But I did actually play on Game Pass. I got 2 Point Campus, which is sort of a recent release, where you play as sort of it's like a management game, kind of like a Zoo Tycoon or like a mobile. It kind of is like a mobile game. I don't know if it started off that way or what, but basically you design a college campus and I don't even know. I guess it's college because there's dorms. It's kind of vague. They don't really say high schooler, but
yeah.
But it's fun. It's very quirky. I feel like the design is really nice. It's easy on the eyes. I feel like it is more suited for like a smaller screen because it can be kind of like bright. And I don't know if it's just because I was playing in my dark room. I mean, it wasn't dark. I had lights on, but I was like, my eyes were kind of like.
Are you playing on a console or PC?
PC. I'm playing on Game Pass.
Okay.
For PC.
I really like the idea that you're like sitting in a very dark room, just hunched over your computer.
Keyboard clacking. Like I'm in a hacker movie.
What is there a goal to the game, or is it sort of just like Roller Coaster Tycoon or whatever, where you just sort of build and have fun along the way?
Yeah, it's like a tycoon game where you like hit certain goals as you go. So like you start off at one campus and then you do so good there that you go to a different bigger school or bigger space, and then you sort of build around it. So I had fun. I like there's like a sort of running commentary that's like, they sound like announcements, like PA announcements, but they're all sort of like quirky and silly and fun. And
that's really cute.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I'm not going to like sit down and play it for hours and hours like I did when I was younger with Zoo Tycoon, but I most of that was just because I really liked the animals. It really had nothing to do with the management. And I liked to break the fences and like have the tigers roam free and attack people. But they never got eaten in Zoo Tycoon 2 because it was like kind of a kid's game, so they weren't really allowed to eat people. But I would recommend it if you like those kinds of games just because it's fun, especially if you have Game Pass. It's like I would probably pay like $5 for this game, but I got to play it for free. So it's just kind of like a fancier, like a more bourgeois mobile game, I would say. But it's fun. And I like the design. I think it's fun.
Should we shout out the encourager of your 2 Point Campus impressions? Our friend of the show, 2 Point Cameron.
Yeah. I would like to thank Cameron for recommending me to play this game because I said, you know what? I'll do it. I trust your judgment, which is a joke and a lie. I don't trust your judgment. But I did in this case, and it paid off for me. So.
Well, he said it in a very aggressive manner, so I feel like if you didn't, you might have felt like a little.
I know. I kind of felt
not
like I had
threatened, but like.
No, I felt pretty threatened. I was
a little
like,
unsafe.
locking my doors at night, and I had the guard dogs out. I was like, I don't know if I don't play 2 Point Campus.
2 Point Cameron might kill you.
2 Point Cameron might quarry me. You know what I mean? Not hit the button in time. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
I like the idea that friend of the show Cameron walks into your apartment and you enter like a quarry quick time event where everything slows down. It's like, you better move the control stick to the left, and you don't do it in time, and it's just boom, no head Kelly.
So true.
Every death in quarry that I had except two, there were a lot of like head trauma deaths in my playthrough.
Yeah,
like 3 of my 5 deaths were head trauma.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all my deaths. Yeah. I think I had like 4, and 2 of them, 3 of them were, and 1 of them wasn't.
Head trauma?
Yeah.
That game likes head trauma.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of head trauma, don't worry, we'll be back next week to inflict more wonderful sounds on your ears. Thank you very much for listening. Next week, we'll be back with some Kirby's Dream Buffet impressions, probably. I'm afraid I'll be out of country for a few days, so there's a chance I won't get to it.
You're so, serious about it. I'm out of country. OOC.
I mean, I'm going to Canada. It's not
I
that
know.
out of country. It's very similar.
You should have kept it secret. It made it sound like you were going to like Australia or something.
I'm going to I'm
A
actually
land down under.
Boston. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week. I'll have some new Canadian accents to throw at you, I'm sure.